Yeah, hold me a rose, cry me a river too. I say, yeah, hold me a rose, cry me a river too. Well, when the sun goes down, Lord, the devil comes around. And come on, baby, let me save your soul. I said, come on, baby, let me save your soul. 'Cause when the sun goes down, Lord, the devil comes around. Well, I've been cursed and I've been blessed. I can't figure out, say, which is best, but oh, cry me a river too. I say, oh, hold me a rose, cry me a river too. Well, love is a thin concept. Say my father was a gambler, so I don't hedge no bets. Yeah, but hold me a rose and cry me a river too. And come on, baby, let me save your soul. I said, come on, baby, let me save your soul. 'Cause when the sun goes down, Lord, the devil comes around.
Hello everybody, welcome to Northern Michigan Musicians Journal. This is show 10. We've got a great guest today on the show, and we've got my assistant, Mary Ferris.
Yes.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Dolph. I'm going to have to do this 10 times to get before I have Dolph in my brain here.
Well, that's good for the audience to hear this and get the clarification. My stage name is now Dolph, and I'm practicing saying Dolph, you know. I should have changed it back in the 80s because I had a roommate who called me Dolph. And in fact, I even have my name tag from the door when I worked for Jewish Vocational Services.
Okay.
And it says Dolph on it.
Okay.
So I never got the hint though, but you know, live and learn. Now I'll be famous because I changed my name. But Mary always gives us some updates on activities in Traverse City. And as you can see, we're wearing the same clothes we wore in show 9. We stayed around the studio for 2 weeks. So we could do show 9 now.
Okay.
And I hope that because of that, there's some other events that you can come up with. So go for it, Mary. What's new in Traverse City?
Well, we're anticipating pretty soon the events of the National Cherry Festival next week. And there's going to be a lot of big names playing, like the classic rock group Kansas will be doing festival music next week.
Wow, I always thought Kansas was a state.
Yeah, well, it's also a rock group too,
It is.
and they were back in the late 70s, early 80s. And
Wow, excellent. No, I know that band.
then
never
there's
been
going to be
Coliseum.
Josh Groban, who is a country act.
I've heard that name.
He's coming, and then also the tribute 1964, you know,
The Beatles.
honoring the Beatles, and they are always fantastic to listen to.
I heard a tribute band last year in Charlevoix. I wonder if it's the same guys.
They're the same. They're from Ohio, I
The
know.
bass player's name was Todd.
Yes, and I think you had your picture taken with him
I
too.
did. and
Because he was a nephew of a friend of yours.
I ran track in Livonia in 1971. Well, actually 69, 70, 71. And my track coach was Mr. Nemi. Actually, I don't remember his first name. Well, anyway, he was at the Charleroi concert, and he recognized me, and he says, Todd, the bass player, is my nephew. So we went to the Villager pub, and we got in with him, and we sat with Paul McCartney, Todd, and Mr. Nemi.
Okay.
And so that was fun. But anyway, then getting on with the events, so the Cherry Festival, that's really great, you know, and this is the land of cherries.
Yes, and then pretty soon the film festival at the end of July will be gearing up, and that's always a fantastic event too.
I know somebody you should hear at the film festival.
Who?
He doesn't know where he's going to be stationed yet, but I'm going to be playing at the film
Okay,
festival.
very good.
So it's going to be cool.
It's always these singers and groups, and they warm people up before the movie, and
They told me to play songs that are warm.
good.
So I forget what I'm going to play. It's So Hot to Be in Miami, and Hot Love, and that should warm them up.
And then usually July often brings a lot of open mics and different other festivals, and there's the Autumn Stroh and the Boyne City Stroh, and there's a lot of art things which you probably would know about going on up at Boyne City in the
Boyne
eastern
City, on
area.
August 12th, I'm playing in the streets of Boyne.
Okay.
And our guest today, I believe he's going to be playing in the streets of Boyne. When we get to him, we'll get that information. And Streets of Boyne is a great place to play, and they were in the national competition for the Main Street grant or something like that. Anyway,
yes.
do you know where they went? They went
I don't know.
Virginia or something, and Boyne City came in second, I think.
Okay.
And Lansing
I
came
didn't
in
know
first.
that.
Lansing came in first, and the state of Michigan actually had 2 high contenders because the whole United States were involved in this.
Okay, and then even thinking about the Boyne City Stroh, in fact, our friend Ernie Mendo, he did a show some time ago playing the Boyne City Stroh, and
He's playing this year too, and I don't know when it is, but hasn't played yet. And today is June 27th, right?
Right.
Yep. So hopefully, when this is aired, people will be able to get out there and see him and see our guest, who's Rob Johnson.
okay.
And
Also, I would like to say happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Jim Abfouter, also known as Spaghetti Jim. Today is his birthday
why is he called Spaghetti Jim?
because he makes pasta.
And is that in Traverse City?
Yes, it is, and and he and my sister Ann have a very good pasta business. And
What's the name of the business?
It's called Spaghetti Jim's Pasta Works, and it's over on South Airport, and they have a little pasta restaurant, and they also have pasta to go too, and he often demos at the Commons, and then also down in Grand Rapids, the farm market, and as well as the Sarah Hardy farm market and the Frankfurt farm market.
Wow. Well, yeah, and I guess because it's his birthday, he just got a plug.
Yes.
So, and in America, we call them noodles, not pasta. So if you need some noodles, get over to Jim's Pasta.
Okay.
That's Mary's brother-in-law. Okay, well, great, Mary. And then you had some questions. You asked me one question from the last show, and then on this show,
okay, you also
tell the
have-
audience where you got the information from.
I got it from the wastebasket over at the district library.
Great, great.
Okay, and you also have some band stories you can tell too.
Well, yeah, the first one...
Remembering the wedding band days. And
I'm going to tell a story about that. And one of my old friends, I connected with him on Facebook now. He's back on Facebook, and it's been, 20 years. But tell me about the Jose Cabrera ask Jose Cabrera. What was question number 2? Because they
Okay.
were about bass guitars.
Okay, dear Jose, I stepped on the cord going to my bass guitar and it cracked the end of my pick guard completely off. I took everything apart and crazy glued it, but it looks awful. I can't afford a new pick guard. The guitar is a Maserite and they want $180 for a new pick guard. What do I do?
Okay, now I don't know what Jose's answer was, but I know that my answer is better.
Right,
Because that actually happened to me. And I bought my bass. This is a Peach 1978 Ovation Mach 1. Ovation Mach 1 because Mach 3 had sliders, but the Mach 1 has knobs. And you can see this is mink here. Well, this is a 1978. And I bought this from Hamel Music on Middle Belt Road in Livonia.
Still there today.
What happened was just a couple weeks after I had this bass, the plug that goes to the amp is here. In fact, there's 2 plugs. One is for stereo, one is for mono. Essentially, I could have this bass going to two different amps if I really was whacked out. And a couple of times I think I tried it, but it's bad enough having a foot pedal with 5 different knobs to adjust than have 2 amps with 5 more knobs each to adjust. So anyway, though, I stepped on this and it cracked the pickguard off. And they wanted like $180 for a new pickguard. And it looked awful. I glued it together. And when I was a kid, I hate to waste things, because I'd always listen to my dad talking about the Great Depression, So when I had fur gloves, when they wore out, I would tear the fur out of the inside, and all of my electrical plates in my bedroom were furred. They were rabbit furred, so my on and off switch, it was furred. So I got this great idea, and I went to Salvation Army on Ford Road in Garden City, and I was lucky. I went through the women's coats, and lo and behold, I didn't know it was mink, but it was nice fur. So I bought the coat for $5. I took it out in the parking lot and tore the collar off, and then I redonated the coat. Because you don't have to stay warm. I mean, you didn't have a fancy mink collar. It was still a good coat. Anyway, I got home and I meticulously tore the fur off the lining of the coat, the collar, and I glued it, and I took the old plate, glued it together, and I put the fur over the old plate so all the screw holes were in the right spot. And this was back in 1978, and this is before MTV and before ZZ Top was on TV with fur on their guitars. And so I actually had a fur guitar before ZZ Top. And of course I don't have a swivel here. They had actual swivels so they could push their neck down and the guitar would spin completely around. A little too risky, but anyway, this is it. And that was a good question, Mary. To get on with one of your band stories, Mary, I'll go through this real quick so our guests can be on. I had a wedding band called Soft Touch, and near the end days of the band, we had a keyboard player named Dave Hall. He used to play with Salem Witchcraft, and he could play any song you wanted. Just tell him what key it was in. The only qualification was that the song had to sound like In-A-Gadda Vita. So you could play Heart and Soul, or you could play Michelle, or I Want to Hold Your Hand. And they would have a really good keyboard part, but if you listen closely, you could swear it sounded a little bit like In-A-Gadda Vita. And Dave had a Hammond B3 that we had to carry around too, and that was a lot of work. Our drummer's name was Danny Baggett, and he was a good drummer, and our guitar player was Dennis Angelotti. Dennis kind of called Danny the Bagman, and he caught on that nickname. And then we had Shirley singing female vocals, and she was her nickname was Loretta because she liked to sing country, and she was from Tennessee and she had a twang. And then I played bass and sang, and we had this great gig out in Wolverine Lake in a mansion with a beautiful porch, and the band was all set up on the porch, and they had a pig on the spit, and they had Heineken in the barrel, and this was like 1983 or 84, which Heineken in the barrel on tap was kind of cool. A big tent too, and we did good. We played Purple Rain, which was one of our debut songs that day, but there was a deluge, and it rained like crazy. It just hit us, and the PA system was underneath the roof, right where the water came out. And just as it started raining, I unplugged the PA just in time, because a bunch of water spilled right on the PA. And we carried all the stuff that could get damaged in the house, because the porch didn't have a roof over it, it just ended. And when we were in the house, I can't take all the credit, but I do have to say unplugging the PA was the first smart thing, because if the power was on and that water got into the circuit boards, boom, it would have been out. But we didn't know if the PA was going to work or not, and we didn't want to plug it in. And Dennis, who's an engineer now and just bought a Ferrari, and I don't recall where he lives, somewhere in the Detroit area still, Dennis said, get me a hairdryer and take the PA apart. And we took all the screws out and we took the PA apart, and he went over everything with the hairdryer for about 20 minutes. And it stopped raining, and we put everything back together. We plugged it in and it worked. So it was a happy ending, but a real tight spot. And the people liked ranch dressing, and by the time the band was done and loaded, there was no one around, and there was lots of ranch dressing still available, and we did have a ranch dressing fight, and it kind of wrecked the seats of my van. But and I imagine that might have been another reason why we didn't get called back the next year to play for these folks. And that's my band story. Now, with that in mind, we have a very special person on the show today. His name is Rob Johnson. And how you doing, Rob?
Doing great, Adolph. How are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. It's great having you on the show. I see you got your cowboy hat on today. Is that
Yep.
for special reason you got that cowboy hat today?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes. I caught your last show.
Oh, yeah.
And I listened to your original.
Oh, yeah.
About our mutual friend Ernie Mindel.
Oh, I know.
And your song, you indicate that Ernie always has his cowboy hat. So I thought, well, hey, I'm going to wear mine just to honor our.
That's nice of you. You know,
friendship.
Ernie says that the show doesn't start till he puts his hat on.
Oh,
And,
well, that's another.
So that's just a little thing. So if you're playing out, you know, and you're going to wear the hat, you can like wait till you're going to start your song and then you put it on and the show begins.
Well, that's his trademark too.
And Ernie really likes the song, and if you want to make me happy, write a song about me. Because it's kind of an honor to have a song written about you, though.
That's true, yeah. Well,
and not a bad song.
Yeah, I'll have to meditate on that one and just let one kind of fall in, you know. And
well, you have a lot of gigs, and I don't know where you want me to start on here. I know what we could do. Tell us about the first song you played at the beginning of the show.
Sure.
That was an original, right?
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Well, that song is called Save Your Soul.
Great.
Yep. And all I can tell you is that I was just sleeping, and I woke up, and I was dreaming about rescuing somebody who was down in the nether regions of the earth.
Wow.
And I was actually going to go down there and trade some time to get them out.
Wow.
And these angels started singing to me this song. And it was more or less a warning, like, don't play with this, you know. You
don't like trade your time, right?
Yeah, don't trade your time. So anyway, and it was just those exact words, more or less. There's a couple things I had to change to make it marketable or whatever. But
oh yeah, so how long did it take to write? I mean, because we just had somebody else on the last show.
I didn't really write it. It just it was just a gift. It just kind of came to me. Yeah. So. Yep.
Yeah, I think Joe had a song out called "Who Will Save Your Soul," and
Well, it's a popular theme because I mean,
Yeah.
if you're in trouble, everybody wants their soul to be saved, right?
Right.
Well, you better hope so, yeah.
It makes me think about using a credit card, and you were warned not to use the credit card because you were kind of like doing something on credit. You're gonna give some of your time to get that person out of the nether area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not that I had that much time to give, I would suppose, but you know.
Yeah, you might have told the agents,
Never know,
well, I'm
yeah.
not going to give them that much time. You'll just let me.
Hey, you know, give it a whirl, you know.
That's good. Well, that's really cool. Now, tell me about your background. Then, when did you first pick up a guitar and start singing, and then from that time, you know, when did you write your first song?
Sure. Well, you know, I have a real musical family. Everybody performs on some sort of instrument.
Yeah.
And beyond that, you know, I have a couple of real strong singers. I have an uncle who was an opera singer. He actually came pretty
Very
close to singing
interesting.
at the Met. I'm sorry?
Very interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he was a cantor in a synagogue when he was a kid. And you know, although we're not Jewish, that was his gig. And my father was one of these guys that could just kind of like pick up any instrument and play it, you know.
Yeah.
And my mother had a beautiful voice, and she stuck me in the kids' choir when I was, you know, young at church, and it was, you know, kind of
Excellent.
embarrassing at the time, but you know, I kind of gathered from it. And then I was had to take piano, and I played the drums. And then
You played the drums, really? Did you
Yeah.
play?
Yeah.
Did you have cymbals and a bass drum and a snare and all
well,
that?
not a whole kit. I played in the band.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
so
marching band. type of
Yes, I
thing?
played like marching band. I played snare and a tom and a bass drum.
Oh,
And
that's
then
kinda
the,
cool. Yeah.
The kettles. What do you call those things?
Timpani or
Timpani. Yeah. You know, and what's really cool is like you
Wom.
and then tune them. You know, it's kind of about this big. You know, and when you're a kid, you're about this tall. You know, and the timpani are like this.
Yeah.
You know, diggity, bong. You know, and we'd be out there. And back then, actually, like I got the band director in middle school actually hit me with the tom for the bass drum because I was playing with it so much, you know. So anyway, so yeah. So from there, I moved into guitar, and I did it for a bit, and didn't really, you know, follow through with it, and you know, moved on to adulthood and played around a little bit. And then one day, I was in a guitar shop, and I picked up a guitar and strummed it, and thought, you know what, I think I want to get back to this. And so, so that kind of happened about, you know, 20 years ago or something, and slowly over time, I made some good contacts and good friends, like Adolph, for example, you know, and just moved into what I'm doing now, which is I pretty much perform solo, and I do a variety of covers and my originals on occasion. So.
You've had a lot of guitars, haven't you?
I have had a lot of guitars. That's true. Yeah, I have had a lot of guitars. I've had a '62 Fender Jazzmaster, as a matter of fact. That,
Oh, yeah. I've seen
Leo
pictures
Fender
of it on the
actually,
internet.
Leo
Yeah.
Fender actually worked on or built that guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sold that when I needed money.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yes.
it's nice you probably sold it for a little bit more than you bought it for, right?
Yeah, it's no secret. Yeah, I had that, and I still have a Guild. What is the? I'm trying to remember.
M80?
It's a M80. Yeah, that
yeah.
I bought from Adolph. Yeah, it's bought from Adolph. And I just bought a Guild the other day, as a matter of fact, from my buddy up in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, at Grooves Music.
Grooves, yeah.
Yeah, Gary. It's a George Groom Guild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, GF 25. Yeah. And
Well, I'll have to see that.
yeah,
You didn't bring that today.
Well,
huh?
you know,
Right.
I have it in the car, and I was actually going to play it in here, but I decided to plug in, so we're going to play the Taylor. But yeah, it's a George Groom Guild, and he didn't realize that it was a Groom Guild because the label was tore out of it. And I looked up on the neck, and I saw GF, and the price he had it on, you know, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So,
Oh, so you knew. He did. Well, you've had so many guitars. Have you had to consult with any particular people?
Oh, a guitar counselor.
Guitar
Yeah.
counselor.
Well,
Yeah, the
Adolph's a
person-
guitar counselor too.
Well, Adolph has served that role in the past, but the person who now serves that role is my wife. So
Okay.
you know, I
Oh,
kind of
she's your guitar
run
counselor.
things by her, and we kind of decide whether or not if it's a good investment or if it's going to be inspiring or.
She checked the price tag, right?
Does
Well, you
Mia,
have.
She
does Mia
doesn't,
play guitar too?
Well, you know, I've been giving her a few lessons, you know,
Okay.
and but Trent loves to listen. He is
Mia
very good
is
focus.
Rob's wife's name, and then Trent is his new son. How old is he?
He's 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months, yep.
Good time to start playing.
Yeah, he has incredible focus. He will sit there and watch for, it seems endless until he falls asleep. And he listens, and he'll listen and listen. And, he just kind of like, after about a half hour, an hour of, Puff the Magic Dragon and what other, child, songs we're playing, he just kind of, goes out. But he's focused. He likes to strum the strings, believe it or not, at 4 months. He's,
Yeah, Mary, I'm doing all the questions.
That you were in Key West for a while.
That's
so
true,
how were those audience and the influence of Florida and where Jimmy Buffett is very strong down there? So how did that affect your music?
Well, that was inspirational, Jimmy Buffett.
Caribbean sounds and...
Huge Jimmy Buffett fan. My favorite song by Jimmy Buffett is Come Monday. It makes me think of my grandmother, believe it or not. Only because when I was about 10 years old, that song was popular, and we used to sit in her kitchen, and it would be on the little AM radio. And I remember that era, and just the imagery that song would bring up. And so we moved to the Keys. Yeah, we spent time down there. I performed in several venues down there. The audiences are wonderful. They're very generous, typically very drunk, very involved.
You never met Jimmy?
No, I never met Jimmy.
Did you play? Didn't you play at Jimmy Buffett?
I played at Cheeseburger in Paradise, and I played at Margaritaville.
And those are owned by Jimmy?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you started it with the blues, but lately you have been going into alternative country, so...
Right, yeah, I've been doing some alt country. Those are the kind of songs that just kind of, like I say, they just kind of fall in. And I think it's because one of my major influences was Big Bill Broonzy. He was kind of a country blues guy. And that coupled with like my dad's old records of Hank Williams Sr. and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that stuff would be playing, like when I was like Trent's age. They would be playing that every night, and whatnot after work, and picking it one way or another. And so those probably are the influences that are manifest in me now.
Okay.
More than anything.
What do you think of the newer music that is coming out, the better newer artists?
Yeah, well, there's definitely some new artists that I really am into, like Amos Lee.
Okay.
I really appreciate his music. He's wonderful, and I heard that he's coming to Interlaken this year, which
Yes,
I'd really
he
love
is.
to catch that show. He's truly amazing, and there's other. It's hard to find traditional country artists today in the field. There's a lot of. I'm not criticizing anybody, but there's a lot of rock that calls itself country, I think.
Country has gotten real rocky lately, I noticed.
Yeah.
Because
Which
I
is
know
okay.
that,
I'm not
because I know
against
that
it. I'm just saying,
Dierks Bentley and Lucinda Williams are coming to Interlaken.
Yeah, no, that's some awesome, traditional kind of, folk country, or alt country, which you would call it alt country. Yeah, I really love that music. Yeah, yeah.
Well, tell us about your first song that you wrote when you got into songwriting, because playing and writing sometimes go together, and sometimes you learn and you don't write your own song for a long time. But you remember your first song?
Oh yeah, sure. My first song was based on a true story, and basically what it is about is love lost, and then pursuing the love after it's lost, and taking your lumps.
Let it go.
Okay.
So yeah, and I can actually probably do that one at the end if.
Oh, you're going to do that one today?
I
That's
could
great.
if you wanted to,
Yes.
if you want me to, but
Yeah.
But it's it's kind of a train song, so it's got a train in there, so that's it's got to be a little bit. That's
very-
alt country. It's got a
very-
little train in it.
Yeah, train.
Very similar to Megan, that she needed closure for a relationship. She was on our last show. And,
Yeah, Megan was on show number 9.
Oh yeah, so I hear she's an excellent artist. Yep. Mhm.
very young, the future of music. And
Okay.
one face to watch. And
What's the name of the one you're going to do then? The
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Good name. It sounds like, not first girlfriend, just girlfriend, but probably was near the beginning, wasn't it? Right? Those are the ones that get you the most.
Well, it's funny because the beginning reinvents itself every so often.
right.
Yes, this is true. Very good, yeah. What do you think of your Taylor? Because you have so many guitars, and like you know what kind of guitar I like, but
Well, that is the same as your Taylor. That is a Dreadnought 10 series.
yeah.
And but it doesn't have the expression system like yours does. You have that. You have like 35 different pickups on yours for the expression or whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or 22 or something like that. That's the original configuration of a Fishman under saddle pickup. And I like that because it just gives it a little bit more bite to the guitar. I get a real bite on stage with it. And there's a few other people I've talked to that prefer that setup. I mean, and the particular guitar there has an awesome tone. I had another similar one to that I sold to get that one because this one had better tone. The other one played better, but this one has amazing tone, in my opinion. And
you use higher gauge strings too?
I do. I use 13s. Most people play 11s or even 10s, or 12s is pretty common. But I use 13s because I get a more powerful tone out of the guitar. And actually, that's what Taylor recommends for the Dreadnought and jumbo size.
Yeah.
If you go on their website, it says right on they want mediums is what they feel that the string in that configuration moves the top enough that it gives you the full benefit of the guitar.
Yeah, and you know more about my guitar than I do. I didn't know I had that many pickups, but I have a lot of switches on the top, so it's
there's three. One's tone, one's volume, one's
Yes.
bass, and one's the highs.
It's got a polarity switch on it, and it's got a mode control, including the volume, and then it's got 3 graphic equalizers on the top, and and then it also has a left to right. I think one is a bridge microphone, and the other, and in the middle it's all of them, and then the other end it's other microphones. But it's a lot of
it's an awesome guitar. You have a 6 series, right? 610.
610 CE, yeah. And it takes a little bit of concentration when I think of the foot pedal I have with the 4 or 5 volume controls and the amp
harmonizer
and the harmonizer. Oh yeah, and then I have the harmonizer. I hooked it up last night, or no, not last night, a couple nights ago.
Yeah, with from I Miss John Lennon and
Oh yeah, I played at the
Songwriters
Michigan Songwriters and Musicians Association annual party, and I brought my harmonizer, and I had to send a guitar line out to the amp, and then I had to send a guitar line into the harmonizer from my wireless. Then I had to send the microphone into the harmonizer, and then the microphone out. And
Wow.
and I needed the cooperation of everybody, because everyone's saying, "What are you doing? You know, what's this? You know, how come you need so many chords?" And then I did 2 songs, but Mary says that you could hear it.
Yeah, you could.
And it sounded like
Excellent.
another human being singing with me. Do you
Oh,
use
wow.
that yet? Do you use harmonizer?
No. I have a Acoustasonic that is the
Fender? Are you talking about the amp?
Fender Acoustasonic that
It's a
has
nice amp.
effects on there, and I just set it. You can set it for like outdoors. You can set it for indoors. You can set it for, and it works for me. I can warm it up, cool it down, whatever I need to do. And it's got 2 channels, and if I want to go into a PA to add more stuff, it's fine. And there's effects that make it sound like a PA. So if I'm going into a gig, I only got to like make 2 trips, you know, one with a bag and a mic stand, and one with the guitar and one with the amp. So I'm in and out, you know.
I've been looking at those, and the one I was looking at was the Fishman. I forget what it's called.
Like the
Fishman Monster, or the big, and did you try them all out, or was it, you know, how did you come across the Fender? Because
I just like
a good name,
the sound, the sound and the tone I get out of this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have a tower like a Fishman tower, you know, but it just doesn't have the bottom end that I like for my shows.
Bottom end
you
is
know.
what I wondered about, because those towers are a little narrow, and
Yeah.
nowadays you don't know what they do. But
They tell me that if you have the Bose one, you need to get.
you got to
bass
buy the
with
little
it.
box.
Yeah,
that hooks
so-
up. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. And actually, when I bought this model, it was $600. Now they charge $1,000 for them.
Oh, really? They went up?
So it's supposedly so, you know, either popular or, although I've never seen anyone else play one. You know,
I've looked at them. I thought about getting one like that, and I still use my PA, because I have a PA, you know. But
Yeah.
so I have to carry 2 two bottoms or one, you know, speaker, and then the PA system.
Yeah. Well, what you can do with this amp that I have is you can do a line out to powered speakers. So I'm looking at Mackie speakers because I have the stands. I had bigger speakers, but I sold them. So I can use this for, you know, my solo gigs. And if I want to do something bigger, I can go from this to powered Mackies, and it gives my sound to the power Mackies. And you know,
That's the latest thing, and I've heard Mackie is the top of the line for everything.
That's what they say,
system. But can you hook up a different brand to the powered speaker? Can
yeah,
you do
it's
that?
just a 3-pin.
Is it? Is it a 3-pin? So you have to have a 3-pin line out then.
Yeah, that has that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
so
one.
line out into
Okay, so you can go to one Mackie and you could parallel the next Mackie. Or,
Yep.
wow.
That's what they say. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a new idea to have the amp in the speaker itself. That's crazy.
Right, you know.
more adjustments.
Yeah.
You know.
But as long as it's simple, it's okay. You know, you get too technical, too many chords going, somebody trips over something, and the whole thing's gone. So.
Well, we were going to introduce Mia and your son. Are they going to come in? Or?
Well, he was sleeping, so if he's awake, you know, they could come in and say hi. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's up to Mom though. I don't want to.
Yeah. Oh, did she know?
Yeah, she said she
Yeah.
didn't want to come on, but she wanted him to come on, but he was sleeping, so
Oh,
then she
she's
didn't
got
want
to
to
come on
but-
too.
Yeah,
She's going to be like Linda McCartney, right? She's going to have to learn how to sing back up.
Yes.
Right.
That's a joke, I mean, but you know, I mean, that's what guys that are musical generally do when their wife doesn't sing or anything. Well, here's
Like
the keyboard, you know.
Or like Johnny Cash and June Carter.
Well, June was musical though.
Yeah,
wasn't
she was.
Yeah, but I don't think Linda McCartney wanted to play in the band that bad, you know. and then we won't mention Yoko. I mean,
Yeah.
she got in there and.
Yeah.
But hard to say about Paul's other wives.
Oh yeah, well no, he didn't get the other one. The other one probably said, "I'm not getting up on that stage," you know. I'm telling you before you marry me, you're not getting me up there. That's.
But he's engaged to a third one too.
I know he
Wow.
is, and
He's got pretty expensive taste.
she's my age too. She's 57, and what is he? 66. Paul McCartney, yeah. So, but he's Paul McCartney. He could have gone younger, right?
Well, it's really Sir Paul McCartney.
Sir, that's right. You're right, Mary.
Out of the
I'm
British
sorry,
Empire.
Paul, if you're watching, Paul.
Yeah, he supposedly was going to stop in and advocate that Ringo be knighted also,
Yeah,
Well-
he should.
because he's the only one that hasn't been knighted.
Yeah, and he's sober now. He is. I like them all.
Yeah,
and
they-
of course
yeah, right.
there was only Paul and Ringo left. So it's time to play the end song and to show. We got the high sign from the back window.
All right.
So
Sure.
yes.
I was.
Oh yeah,
just
that's
gonna
right. Okay.
mention that.
Your schedule.
Yeah, in the area through July, I will be performing at a couple of venues starting this Friday, right? This Friday, the 1st of July, Stroll the Streets of Boyne.
There he
And
is
then,
at the stroll. Yep.
Yep. And then July 3rd, 4th, 16th at Papalou's in Petoskey, and those shows are at 6 and 9. July 15th and 18th at Cooper's Pub in Boyne City. And July 23rd, I'll be on radio. You can stream that around here at WKUF Flint. It's a 1-hour show. And usually it's like 8 or 9 o'clock. And July 28th, we're going to be in Harbor Springs, the Street Music once again. And that's at 6. Or, yeah, 7 o'clock, I'm sorry. July 14th, 15th, and 26th at Rivergate Terrace in Riverview, Michigan. So that's my schedule for the next month.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob. Nice.
You're
I'm glad you made it out here.
Great to be
Yeah,
here. Thanks a
you're
lot for
gonna be
having me,
really
folks.
busy.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
That's the
We're
only
just
way to be,
lucky,
right?
yeah. And my website for anybody who wants to get free downloads: www.reverbnation.com/Robert Johnson. ROBERTJOHNSON.
Okay, great.
Cool. Okay, well, we're going to listen to your next song and wrap the show up. Thank you
Awesome.
for watching Northern Michigan Musicians Journal. This is Rob Johnson here, our guest.
Well, I saw my woman waiting on it to rain. Yeah, saw my woman waiting on it to rain. Then I saw her new boyfriend sitting in the baggage claim. And they had our little baby hanging around by her knee. Yeah, they had our little baby hanging around by her knee. And I started noticing something. He don't really resemble me. Well, I walked up to that boyfriend. I cracked him right in his eye. Yeah, I walked up to that boyfriend. I gave him a right cross in the eye. And those railroad cops hit me with a railroad tie. And when I woke up, I found myself in jail. I woke up sleeping off in a county jail. And I can't do nothing but pay off my bail. So you see an ex-girlfriend waiting on a train, and you see her new boyfriend sitting in the baggage claim. Well, just leave them alone and save yourself some pain. This song's for Adolf. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Yeah, before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Well, you're saying about women clothes, you taking money from someone else. I called your mama 3-4 nights ago. Lord, I called your mama 3-4 nights ago. And your mama said, son, don't call my daughter no more. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Yeah, before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Well, you're saying buy women clothes, you're taking money from someone else. And come on back home, baby, pile my love just one time. I say now come on back home, baby, try my love one more time. If my love don't suit you, I'm gonna lose my mind. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. I say before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Say you're saying buy women clothes, you taking money, you taking money, you taking money from someone else.